like hunters do. You know, our eyes are really not, we're not born with eyes to make paintings. We're born to hunt and see in the dark and make sure we don't trip over things. In the dark, you know, when you're in a dark room, your pupil opens so that you'll be able to see things, and all that works against the fiction of painting. Because in painting, you have to see things in a very simultaneous way, which is pictorial and very, very different than normal seeing. And all that is based on a language and a tradition that goes back, I would imagine, to the beginning of time. Probably, I mean, I really wouldn't know what the connection of what I do and what the cave painters did, but there must be some connection. It's not traceable, but it is traceable to, let's say, the Romans, right, or the Greeks, right? I mean, that's a pretty traceable tradition, you know, when you stand in front of a Roman fresco in Napoli, you know, it's kind of like being in, you know, mama's womb, you know, your home. And, you know, you understand, you know, what your beginnings and origins are. You know, subjects are another thing that are very, very complicated. You know, why do painters paint, you know, anything at all, or any object at all? I think is just really a mystery and probably an excuse you know, to be involved in what would generally be something very solipsistic, I think, about itself. You know, the language of painting. And the language of painting is in its nature abstract. I'm not talking about stylistic abstraction, but meaning like necessarily the stylistic abstraction that came about in the 20th century, which, you know, was part of the language of painting, but it becomes an excuse and you know, ultimately very inexplicable, just like or useless, you know, just like, you know, falling in love. I mean, you don't really know why that happens or why you do that, you know, or, you know, when you look at something beautiful, a beautiful man or a beautiful woman or a beautiful baby, you know, when you kind of remove yourself and just look at the thing, you know, it's moving and no one really knows why. And I think that that's probably you know, pretty close to the way that I think and the way that many other painters think. And what other painters think is very, very important to me. You know, one of my heroes, you know, Corot, you know, who was a great 19th century landscape painter. And, you know, one who's been my hero since childhood. And, you know, when you connect, I mean, you can read things, but they only confirm, you know, what the paintings themselves really transmit. I mean, it's a language. You can read, you know, you can do more than read what paintings want to get across. You know, they won't be as clear as words will be, but, you know, paintings basically leave off where, you know, where words are just useless. So.